Welcome back to the
Yo, what's
Val
up?
and Nico podcast.
That's good.
With our mobile studio, I guess, because we are officially
In Costa Rica.
in Costa Rica, and this is the vibe.
This is the
vibe
vibe right
here
now.
with our little baby playing in front of
Our
us.
little man's playing right there.
Yeah, so
You might hear some noises. He might talk a little bit, but we'll pick him up when he gets a little tired of his play mat.
this is the life of digital nomad parents traveling with their 4 months old, soon to be 5 months old.
So we wanted to talk a little bit about what it was like kind of manifesting this whole trip.
Yeah, how we manifested this life, because basically we're living here for the next 3 months and then coming back home, and then we might come back or we might, travel somewhere else. But how did this idea first came about? I have a hard time remembering.
It came from you for sure.
I'm
was
pretty sure it
more
came
of
from
like
me.
something that you've desired for a very long time.
Yeah, so I've always dreamed of leaving every winter and going somewhere warm, somewhere tropical. And I've also always been attracted to Costa Rica for sure.
Yeah, for a while you've been attracted to Costa Rica.
Yeah, like I really wanted to go. I remember pre-pandemic, I really wanted to go to Costa Rica, and then, pandemic hit, and I was like, is there a way to go to Costa Rica? I don't know. I feel like traveling restrictions were so intense that I didn't really look into it. At some point, we couldn't go. And then we got pregnant, and I think it really hit us that we wanted to create this life for ourselves and for our little boy, that we can just leave, pack and go, and bring our work with us, bring our life with us, bring him with us, and just keep on living, but in our dream environment. So yeah, I think the seed was planted maybe at the beginning of pregnancy.
I would say so.
Yeah.
It was more of like a thought from you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm pretty much the one who told you, let's go, just put the plan in action. I mean, start looking for spots. Let's see what it's going to cost us. Let's make a plan, let's make a concrete plan of what we're going to do. And I think you got the wheels in motion. You started looking on Facebook groups. You started checking out all kinds of different avenues to try to get us a spot here. And
yeah, because guys, manifestation, like we didn't just sit and meditate about
it.
We didn't just visualize it and like manifest it. Like I talk a lot about manifestation in my work with my clients and like in everyday life. I really do believe in it, but I believe we have to move to manifest, and that's exactly what I did. Like 100%. We planted a seed, we started talking about it actively, we started like dreaming and visualizing, and then it was like beginning of summer of last year of 2022, like, okay, let's put this in motion. I started looking. So I basically looked on Facebook groups. I think this is the way, especially in small cities like Samara, where we are, where, it's not well known. It's like not the biggest city in Costa Rica. We like to travel off the beaten path. And I feel like here we're kind of off the beaten path from of Costa Rica.
We also listen to a lot of our friends who've already been here before. So a lot of them had recommendations of either Nosara or Samara.
You have something to say, little guy?
What are you trying to say, big guy?
He's like, I'm so happy I'm here. This is the best life ever. I'm 4 months old, and I'm living my best life in Costa Rica, swimming every day, living in diapers.
like just the life.
Best life.
So yeah, a lot of our friends were telling us, the spots of where we should be looking for, what they've enjoyed. It was either Nosara or Samara. Samara being a more family vibe, and Nosara being a more like individualist kind of
digital nomad
entrepreneur.
Yeah, very rich, like very.
Yeah, it's a very rich area which we were about to go see today, actually.
Yeah, baby boy.
Do you want to just grab him, or do you want to play it that way? No, I mean, let's just grab him, and then we'll switch him over, and then it'll be what it is, right?
Oh, my God.
He's going to want to talk. Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
So, baby boy, what's going on? Do you have anything to say? What's it like over here in Costa Rica?
He loves it, huh?
I mean, this little man manifested it himself in the womb, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he was like, yo, I need some hot weather after that cold.
Yeah, there's no way I can't believe I came into this world in Montreal, Quebec. Like,
straight
bullshit.
up. But it was honestly really not that bad though before we left. Like it really hit after we got here.
The cold front really hit right when it got here, which is amazing. So
great.
I started looking at Facebook groups. And of course, since I was actively looking and I was, very clear on what we wanted in terms of space. We wanted a house, we wanted a pool, we wanted 2 bedrooms, we wanted, specific things. Like
we wanted room to invite people.
Yeah.
We wanted to really make it more of like a community kind of vibe.
Yeah. So this woman from Toronto actually reached out to me after seeing a couple of my
Which
posts.
is incredibly lucky. I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, everything really happens best case scenario. I feel like when you begin to manifest, when you kind of begin to plant seeds in your everyday life and then talk about it and then kind of move to make it
and
work.
believe in it.
And obviously you have
not
to
just
believe
like,
in it. But
oh, it might happen. Like we know,
You know,
we knew it was going to happen. Like it was certain for us.
and
that-
even you getting off work and kind of getting back into the groove of getting back into your whole coaching and doing the things and, you know, kind of shooting out these new programs and all that kind of also made us move a lot quicker towards the idea and started, you know, getting that finance behind us, kind of get the logistics also behind us. So it was kind of everything happening, best case scenario, everything happening together.
Yeah.
And this lady ended up reaching out to us saying, oh, we have a new development. This is, I think, perfect for you.
Yeah.
I was building this for my son and now plans have changed. And I think I'm putting it on Airbnb and you guys would be the first ones to be renting it.
Yeah.
And we got it for a deal.
Yeah. Because this place
deal and a half.
apparently would be much more expensive than what
Yeah,
we're paying.
like-
So would be like double price of what
Yeah.
we're paying. So it's a good price for us. Like it's obviously more expensive than what we pay back in Montreal, but it's so good compared to what the prices are
100%. This
here
is
for what we have.
completely,
for what we have, because it's a
different.
very, you know, it's a very luxurious, I'd say, house for where we are in Costa Rica. Like it's very modern. It's very, it's very cozy. We love it. We love it here. So yeah, it happened, and like everything we had on our list was checked, which is amazing. So we decided to book it, and
Pool,
that was
8 minutes to the beach.
and that was in the summer of 2022. So we were like months ahead. And this little guy wasn't even here. He wasn't my belly, right? You were in my belly, baby boy. So that's how we manifested this place. That's how we found this place. And then we started making all the other plans, renting a car, like, you know, planning family and friends visit, and like, you know, all the logistic behind it, like finding someone to rent our apartment. That was another like one hell of a manifestation, because that was freaking
rough.
hard. Like at some point I thought we would have no one renting our apartment back
And
in
that
Montreal.
also happened like super like friend of a friend, which is
Yeah.
exactly how things had it to work out.
After something had fell through too,
Yeah, exactly.
so.
A couple of fall throughs like it.
Yeah.
And also the owner of this place helped us a lot too. Like she got us a baby pack and play.
Yeah.
She got us a lot of things that would help us here while we were here with the baby. There was, you know, a couple things which we're going to talk about a little too, which was traveling with the 4-month-old.
Yeah, I guess that's the other like theme we wanted to like
Theme,
address
that we wanted to
today.
address
we wanted
today.
to talk about, because even yesterday, what were we watching? We were watching Love is Blind.
Oh my God,
After
yeah,
the
yeah.
altar. And, you know, there was like Colleen and Matt. They're a couple that got married in the last edition of Love is Blind. And they're like having lunch with, I think Matt's family.
parents, yeah.
Matt's parents. And they're talking about kids.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, you know, in 2 years, because we want to travel first. And then the mother's like, yeah, because forget about traveling when you have babies.
And we both look at each other.
And we
yeah,
both
like-
look at each other and we said the same thing.
Yeah,
I think we said
right.
like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
like
like,
something
yeah,
like that.
right,
And we're like,
dude.
what the frig? Because here we are with a 4 months old, and we just like we changed his environment completely. Like we
changed
flew,
our environment completely.
like he took a like we were on the flight, we were on the plane, and he's in a car all the time. We're walking around all the time. He's in his baby carrier, and he's loving
he's
life.
moving. He's seeing
adapting
so much.
so freaking fast. So I guess you want to talk a little bit more about what's, you know, how it's been traveling with him so far, and like how we kind of prepared him, I guess, to be so adaptable to it, to be like so responsive.
Adaptive, yeah. I mean,
to
I gotta
so
say that
responsive.
the flight itself was not necessarily a challenge with having him entertained. It was more the logistics of things. We had a lot of stuff, and
Yeah.
you know, changing a diaper in a plane is an absolute
I'm so glad you
joke.
did.
Oh my God, there's absolutely no room. You're all cramped up. You got shit in your face here. You're trying to wipe his butt. You can't. He's about to fall off. The plane's rattling a little bit. I was like, yo, what's going on? You have to pick up the kid, to put up the seat, to put it in the. It was an absolute nightmare. But I mean, we got through it. You only did like about like 2-3 poos in 6 hours.
I
which
think
is
too. You
pretty
went
good.
twice.
I did, huh? And then once when twice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was an adventure in itself in terms of logistics. He was an absolute angel. He did
Oh, yeah.
everything so well. Even getting there and waiting, let's say security was a little bit of a rough patch because we had to get him out of the carrier and then kind of him walk through. So we kind of disrupted his nap, but he fell right back asleep real quick. I mean, whatever anyone says about traveling with an infant or traveling with a 3, 4, 5 month old, it's actually super easy.
Yeah.
It's easy until they get 2.
I think that's the thing. I feel like if you want to travel with them when they're super young, like under 1 year old.
It's so easy.
Depending on what you're doing, he's breastfeeding. So it's super easy to feed him whatever he needs. He doesn't talk, he doesn't walk, he doesn't run. Like he's, you know, we have to manipulate him.
It's funny because now that we have a kid, we are seeing so many families, so many children, so many babies.
I had like, it felt like we were surrounded by kids and babies.
It's like it was the time to travel. We were literally on the plane and there was babies everywhere. There was kids everywhere.
I feel like Costa Rica is a big destination that people bring their kids though, because it's so kids friendly.
100%. Yeah. But honestly, I felt like it was a lot harder for those who had kids.
Yeah,
toddlers running around because it's entertained for like 20 minutes and then it wants to get up. It wants to run around the plane, you know? So it's a little harder, whereas we have them on our lap the entire time. And you know what? We were flying with Air Transat and they were so accommodating.
Oh my God.
They found us a 3C. Row. Yeah, they gave us a whole row, which was
I think made
pretty
the
cool.
whole difference
100%.
Because we at first we were seated like on 2 different rows, but like, you know, next to each other with the, what do you call it? Like the row in the middle, and it was fine. But they were like, we would have to have him on us like the whole time. So having a whole row to ourselves, we were able to put him in the middle and he loved it. He was on his back and he was just like looking at us, looking at the ceiling. Like he loved the white noise of the plane, I'm sure. So if you are having babies, planning to have babies, it is way easier than you think to travel with them. And I have to say, something else I have to say is that your baby is a mirror
of your nervous system.
Your baby is a mirror of your nervous system and how you are feeling. If you are stressed, if you are anxious, you want to talk in the mic? Like your baby will be. If you are angry, if you are feeling all these intense emotions, your baby is a mirror. Your baby feels everything. So we are both calm and collected. We both work on ourselves. We're both like pretty solid individuals. Like we've worked on ourselves for years and years. Like we have years of self-help like under our belt and like just self-awareness and emotional intelligence. So yeah, keep that in mind. Like if you are a person who's really anxious, really stressed, who is chaotic, well, chances are your baby will be the same.
Also be,
will be the same. So I feel like my good friend always tells me, like when I tell her about Mavi and I'm like, oh, he's so amazing. He's such a sweetheart. And she's like, well, it's because you're amazing and you're a sweetheart. Like she's always gives me back a compliment. I'm like, yeah, it's true. Like because I am this strong person, you know, I have emotional intelligence. I have self-awareness. My kid is the same way. He's the same way.
He's definitely a reflection of who we are as people, for sure.
So I feel like what is most difficult for us, and we're getting better at it, is the whole logistic and organization. Like
definitely the logistics aspect of things is
like
is
all
a little
the things
rough,
you have to think about when you are traveling with a baby.
And we literally have trouble trusting each other. Like, oh, do we have this? Did you forget that? Wait, do you have that in the car? Wait, do you have this?
It's not typical of me to not trust him, but when you become a mom, you have what is called a mom brain. Okay, I've told him many times, so I'm sure he's gonna roll his eyes, but I want to tell you guys, because if you've just given birth, your brain is altered for the next 7 years, literally. Stop. Your brain is altered for the next 7 years, so you are wired to be extra careful and super aware of your environment for your baby. Like, and literally, I'm so clumsy in life. Like, I'm such a clumsy person, but with him, I've never been this hyper aware. So it's not I have trouble trusting you. It's that it's like this feeling inside me. I need to know his environment is perfect. I'm so hyper aware of his environment. I'm always like, well, I can't think about anything else but him. So I'm always like, oh, do you have my phone? Do you have this? Because I don't pay attention to anything else. So he's taking care of everything. If I'm with the kid, I'm just with the kid. Like that's my whole attention.
Exactly. I don't need to trust her. I just do things for us, all of it, because I can't leave her to do these things.
And he does the like organization preparation. Like he takes care of like, you know.
And it's funny because it used to be you. Yeah. You were the one who used to do it.
So I'm like, well, I don't know if you've taken my phone. I don't know if do you have the keys? Like, I of course I have to trust you. I do have to trust you. And it's like, it's definitely a work in
okay. I
progress.
mean, I think it's the best. No, I think it's a good thing that you're this way because sometimes there are things that I do forget or things that I don't think of.
Yeah,
and
so it's
good
like,
for you to remind me for
but
sure.
it's crazy how your brain changes. I've never been this hyper aware. Like I've never, all these thoughts you get when you have a baby of like, oh my God, this could happen. Oh my God, if this happens, like all these intrusive thoughts of things that could potentially happen. It's like, but it's so smart too that us mammals are wired this way to protect our baby. Like, and I never thought it would be as strong because like I said, I'm a really clumsy person. Like I get, I fall and I drop stuff and like, I'm just all over the place. But with him, there's no way like I'm being clumsy. Like literally everything I'm hyper aware of. So yeah, I'd say that the hard part is really making sure you have everything. Like we left for 3 months. He's going to go from 4 months to 7 months. That's a big growth spur.
That's a big jump.
It's a big jump. And you never know how much your child's going to grow. Like he's breastfed. So he's super chunky. And
he's a little
growing.
chunky me.
Like he's growing so fast. I'm like, what? Like, do I need to bring like 12 to 18 months clothes? Like, is he going to fit in his 9 to 12 months clothes at the end of this trip? Like, you never know. Like, he's already wearing like 9 months and 12 months.
We definitely have a lot of stuff.
So, yeah, I guess that what we did is we brought so many things.
I honestly feel like he's going to outgrow. By the time we're at the end of this trip, he might be a little too big for everything we brought.
I don't know.
We'll see. Anyways, it'll be kind of funny, It'll
be funny and we'll be able to maybe ask one of our friends to bring us stuff,
Yes.
I guess what else is there to say with traveling with the baby, like, and creating a life outside of,
what
your
else
comfort zone?
I mean, definitely not being in our comfort zone. What it was traveling with an infant or with a baby and coming here was easier for him to adapt to than it was for us.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The weather, the heat. Where are we getting our stuff? The food, the
baby seat, the car
baby seat.
By the way, guys, if you have not watched our first Costa Rica vlog, this channel is our podcast, but it's also our vlog channel. So go watch that because it's so funny. I think it's one of our best vlogs, to be honest.
I think so too.
I think the content is just like, you'll see everything we're talking about today. You'll see like the actual of what happened that day. So like us getting ready.
Well, we made it look easy on there.
Yeah, we made it look easy.
We really made it look easy.
But there was a few like incidents or like moments where I freaked the fuck out. But
yeah. Well, I mean, the baby seat was a big thing.
The baby seat. So basically we arrive and they're supposed to give us a baby seat and they give us this thing that's not even attached to the freaking.
That was the funniest thing.
That was the funniest thing. Literally like a baby basket.
Yeah, like
on
a
the
baby
back seat. Like
I'm like, seat.
How is it safe? I can't put my baby.
It's like, yo, dude, how am I gonna strap this in? There's nothing
to strap this in to make
safety.
To solidify it and to make it like not move.
I tried though. I tried putting the
I tried to put like
I tried to put the seatbelt through and I was like, yo, there's no way we're doing this.
So I was freaking out because I'm like, I can't drive with my baby not in a car seat, even though the hotel was literally like a minute drive away from the
it was really not
fun. So yeah, like we're in Central America. We're not in North America anymore. It's so different. Like
completely.
A completely different culture. Like things are all in Spanish. We don't speak Spanish.
We're having a hard time communicating, but we're learning.
We're learning slowly. Like it's
nice
not.
To be
it's a Latin
immersed in it.
Latin language, so it's not as different as from French, which we both speak. But yeah, it's definitely we have to adapt. But that's one thing. I had this revelation while I was. I think you were getting some stuff at the grocery store, Pali, and I was with him in the car, and there was the air conditioning on, and he was just like in his car seat here, and he was just looking at me like laughing and smiling, and I was like, how incredible are our children, and they constantly teach us about adapting to change and being patient, because he is patient. He is patient, like way more than us. And he's adapting so fast. He doesn't complain. Like he doesn't even know yet. I mean, he cries, he's uncomfortable. Like he'll communicate what he needs, but they are so adaptive to change. Like it is crazy. It's such a beautiful lesson to watch them adapt so quickly and so fast. I mean, we put him in the water in the pool. Yeah,
that's it. I was about to say a great example is
the pool. Yeah, go
into
go
the
for
pool.
it. Like the pool is like
So when we first came here, maybe let's say second or third day, we tried him in the pool. And the second he touched the water, he started crying. So
because the water is a bit cold in the pool.
Not only that, but we went too slow.
Yeah.
So instead of having him adapt, we kind of said, oh, maybe he's going to get, slowly adapted to it. So the next day or the day after, we decided, you know what? Let's just do it one shot. Boom.
Yeah.
So we didn't throw him in the water, but we literally walked into the water real quick, one shot, put him right under his neckline. He didn't even say a peep. He adapted in a matter of seconds, and he was super, super comfortable.
And now he loves being in the water. He loves it.
Plus, we don't have a bath here, so we give him like kind of cold baths in the sink.
In the sink, yeah.
It is what it is, but we've adapted, and it is what it is because he didn't like it at first, but now he loves it. Now he's super okay with cold water.
Because he's adapted. Mm-hmm. So they are such a beautiful example of adapting, being patient, and just
one thing though he hasn't adapted to.
Yeah,
he's
that
like,
gag
he throws
reflex.
that fucking thing every time. He's like, wait.
And yeah, being resilient. Like, it's hot here.
Yeah, it's hot.
We're moving everywhere.
It's
he's
hot.
always in a baby carrier. I'm sure he's in some uncomfortable position sometimes. Yet, like he's being so good. He's just.
I had a heat wave and a half. Let me tell you, heat wave and a half when I got here. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
Like traveling is something to be.
If we summarize it, first of all, don't be afraid to travel with young babies, because it's easy. When they get 100%. Older, it's harder. Apparently, we don't know. We haven't done it.
Logistics wise, it's a little complicated, but past that, the infant part, nothing at all. Babies
adapt. Babies are patient. They are a reflection of you. So work on yourself. Mainly, like 100%. This is the main thing about having babies, having children is like, you have to be ready. You have to be strong. You have to be resilient. You have to be the mirror for this child to grow and,
And you can manifest anything you want.
Yeah. Manifestation queen.
100%.
To be honest, move to manifest though. Like it's not just about sitting down, visualizing,
but it does begin with the visualization, the meditation, and it does begin with kind of putting a picture to what you want, and then
getting excited by it.
100%, getting very excited, talking about it, talk to people about it. Get their perspective on what it is to move in Costa Rica. Were they ever in Costa Rica? Blah blah blah, et cetera, and then start moving to making that a reality.
And fully believe in it.
Yeah.
Never once were we like, oh, it might happen. Like it might not work out. It's like we knew it was going to work out. We visualized it. We dreamed about it. We talked about it. And then we moved. We freaking moved. And here we are in our new mobile studio. Are you okay, my love? It's the end of the podcast. What do you want to say to the people?
The end of the podcast. What do you want to say?
Guys, like this episode. Subscribe because there's many more episodes coming. Vlogs.
You want more of me, the Chunk Nader from Chunk Nation?
Then like this shit. Subscribe to this. And comment below ideas of what do you want us to talk about on this podcast. I mean, we like self-help, traveling, dating, babies.
Everything.
Questions, name it. We're young parents, a young digital nomad family, just...
Dude, I'm full of drool and stuff.
I know, it's insane.
Literally swimming in it. Oh yeah? Last words?
Nice.
Okay, wait, let go of the mic. All right, ciao guys.
Ciao guys, and see you in the next episode of the Val and Nico podcast.
Peace. Bye.